In the world of music, Black R&B icons have long stood as powerful, influential forces. Their extraordinary talent and timeless hits have shaped generations and captured the hearts of millions. Yet behind the spotlight and legendary performances lies a side few ever witness, one marked by personal challenges, difficult missteps, and lives affected by issues like addiction, conflict, and public controversies. These 18 legendary R&B artists once stood at the top, admired, celebrated, and surrounded by success and recognition. But like many who rise quickly and shine brightly, each of them eventually reached a breaking point. Their experiences with addiction, personal hardships, and public controversies didn't just affect their careers. They reshaped their lives in lasting ways. Share a comment with number 1 if you relate to their journeys, or number 0 if you see things differently. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because these stories aren't just about music. They're powerful reflections of history, resilience, and voices that never truly disappeared. They're simply waiting to be remembered. Whitney Houston wasn't just a singer. She was a voice that defined a generation. With more than 200 million records sold worldwide, she remains one of the most iconic artists in music history. Her unforgettable performance of "I Will Always Love You" for the Bodyguard soundtrack became a global phenomenon, selling over 45 million copies and setting records around the world. By the mid-1990s, Whitney seemed to have it all: success, beauty, fame, and the adoration of millions. Yet behind the spotlight, she faced a difficult private reality marked by emotional challenges, a complicated personal life, and struggles with addiction. Her personal difficulties grew after marrying fellow singer Bobby Brown in 1992. What began as a glamorous union eventually became turbulent, highlighting the harsher side of love and life in the public eye. By the early 2000s, Whitney Houston's finances had begun to decline, despite previously amassing over $100 million. By 2006, reports suggested her bank account had dropped to less than $40,000, and she had even sold personal items, including a Grammy, to cover expenses. Her daughter, Bobbi Kristina, grew up in an unstable environment, surrounded by both love and challenges. In 2009, Whitney attempted a comeback with her album, "I Look to You," which debuted at number 1 on the Billboard charts. For a time, fans hoped she had overcome her struggles, but the impact on her voice and well-being was evident. Then, on February 11, 2012, the world was stunned when Whitney Houston was found dead in the bathtub of her suite at the Beverly Hilton Hotel. Described growing tension, frequent arguments, and an increasing reliance on substances. Cocaine, alcohol, and prescription medications reportedly became part of Whitney's daily life, with some accounts suggesting her spending on drugs reached as high as $12,000 a week. The dressing room that once symbolized glamour and stardom had become a space marked by chaos and struggle. While some pointed to Bobby Brown's influence, Whitney's challenges were not solely rooted in her marriage. They also reflected the immense pressures of fame and the isolation it often brought. She lived in a golden cage, adored by millions yet deeply misunderstood on a personal level. Years later, revelations about her close friendship with longtime assistant Robin Crawford highlighted Whitney's search for genuine love and trust in a world where both were difficult to find. Investigators later reported that Whitney's system contained cocaine, Xanax, and alcohol. She was only 48 years old. Tragically, just 3 years later, her daughter Bobbi Kristina also passed away under circumstances that drew unsettling comparisons after being found unconscious in a bathtub. For fans around the world, it felt like a heartbreaking echo of Whitney's fate. A reminder of how addiction, grief, and emotional struggles can have lasting effects across generations. Whitney Houston's story remains a powerful mix of triumph and tragedy. She was the defining voice of her era and the soundtrack to countless memories. Yet her life also illustrated how fame and personal challenges can claim even the brightest stars far too soon. Michael Jace, once a familiar face on television, was best known for his role as police officer Julian Lowe on FX's The Shield. He also appeared in films such as Forrest Gump and Boogie Nights, earning recognition for his sincere and compelling performances. However, in May 2014, his life and career ended in tragedy. During a moment of uncontrolled anger, Jace fatally shot his wife, April Jace, inside their Los Angeles home, with their 2 young children present. Prosecutors stated that he had been drinking heavily that night, and the act was reportedly fueled by jealousy and insecurity within their marriage. Jace was sentenced to life in prison, with a minimum of 40 years before becoming eligible for parole. In his final court statement, Michael Jace expressed deep remorse, acknowledging that there was no excuse for his actions and apologizing for the pain he caused, particularly to his children. He is currently serving his sentence at California State Prison. Jace's case serves as a sobering reminder of the devastating consequences of domestic violence and underscores the importance of seeking help when facing emotional or mental health struggles. Jackie Wilson, famously known as Mr. Excitement, remains one of the most electrifying figures in R&B history. Born in Detroit, Michigan in 1934, Wilson captivated audiences with his soaring vocals, magnetic stage presence, and unmatched showmanship. His timeless hits, like Lonely Teardrops, Reet Petite, and Your Love Keeps Lifting Me, Higher and Higher, thrilled listeners across generations and helped shape the early sound of soul and pop music. Widely regarded as a major influence on the Motown sound, Wilson inspired future stars, including Michael Jackson. Known as much for his dynamic voice as for his high-energy acrobatic stage routines, Jackie Wilson created a lasting legacy that set the standard for modern entertainers and transformed the world of live performance forever. Jackie Wilson's collapse shocked not only the music world, but also revealed the harsh pressures that often hide behind the spotlight. Once a dazzling star with extraordinary talent and electrifying stage presence, Wilson faced private struggles that fame quietly brought with it. His breakdown became a symbol of the darker side of show business, where artists must confront not only public expectations, but also inner turmoil, loneliness, and overwhelming temptations. Wilson's story serves as a reminder that behind the bright lights lie sacrifices and pain that most people never see. Jackie Wilson's career soared with chart-topping hits and unforgettable live performances. Yet behind his glamorous public image, his personal life was marked by deep emotional and psychological struggles. Despite his fame, Wilson battled paranoia, depression, and intense stress. Those close to him described him as being weighed down by the pressures of stardom, with his behavior becoming increasingly unstable, including emotional outbursts and paranoid thoughts. The most heartbreaking moment came in 1975, when Wilson collapsed on stage during a show in New Jersey, revealing just how severe his internal struggles had become. With his extraordinary ability to blend soul, pop, and gospel, Jackie Wilson secured a unique and timeless place in music history. He wasn't just a gifted vocalist, he was a symbol of creativity and innovation, developing a performance style that captivated audiences and set a new standard for stage presence. His powerful voice, electrifying dance moves, and high-energy shows highlighted not only his immense talent, but also his fearless drive to push artistic boundaries. From the emotional depth of soul to the infectious appeal of pop and the spiritual roots of gospel, Wilson created a musical legacy that remains unforgettable. Beyond his hit songs, he paved the way for generations of artists who followed, forever shaping the landscape of modern music. While performing his hit Lonely Teardrops, Jackie Wilson suddenly collapsed on stage from a heart attack. He slipped into a coma and remained in a vegetative state for the next 9 years. This shocking moment marked the end of a legendary career. Behind the fame and electrifying performances, Wilson had struggled for years with personal battles, emotional stress, and addiction. The pressures of stardom gradually took their toll, turning one of music's brightest stars into a heartbreaking reminder of how the spotlight can consume even the most extraordinary talent. The pressures of fame, public expectations, and personal struggles can overwhelm even the strongest spirits. Jackie Wilson stands as a striking example of how quickly life can spiral out of control. He passed away in 1984 at just 49 years old, leaving behind a remarkable legacy marked by both brilliance and heartbreak. The man who once lit up the stage with his incredible voice and magnetic presence was ultimately undone by the very spotlight that made him a star. Jackie Wilson's story serves as a powerful reminder of the heavy mental toll fame can take, especially when personal struggles go unaddressed. His life remains both heroic and tragic, a testament to extraordinary talent and a cautionary tale about the hidden battles artists face behind the curtain. Young Thug went from dominating the charts with hits like Pick Up the Phone and Lifestyle to facing serious legal trouble, his empire now overshadowed by a growing list of criminal charges. At his peak, he wasn't just making music. He was shaping the sound of a generation, influencing an entire wave of hip-hop culture, and building a powerful musical legacy. But behind the fame and success, trouble was quietly brewing. Legal battles, criminal allegations, and ongoing investigations began to cast a shadow over his achievements. Despite being one of the most influential voices in modern hip-hop, Young Thug's career has been shaken by courtroom drama and accusations threatening to unravel everything he has built. This has become one of the most talked-about legal cases in the hip-hop world, highlighting how quickly legal troubles can threaten even the biggest careers. In May 2022, Young Thug, born Jeffrey Williams, was arrested in connection with a long-running investigation into alleged organized criminal activity. Authorities accused him and associates of YSL of involvement in multiple offenses over several years, citing 56 counts, including a rented Infiniti allegedly linked to a violent incident. A search of his home following the arrest led to additional charges, with prosecutors describing the case as part of a larger criminal conspiracy. The news sent immediate shockwaves through the music industry, as fans and fellow artists alike awaited the outcome of the unfolding legal battle. Today, Young Thug remains behind bars as his multi-year trial continues, filled with delays, legal twists, and intense media scrutiny. The courtroom has become a spotlight in its own right, with emotional moments, viral clips, and public debates, including celebrity commentary, raising questions about whether he's receiving fair treatment or being made an example of. With the possibility of a lengthy sentence, potentially up to 20 years, hanging over him, the uncertainty is growing. Fans worldwide are left wondering if one of hip-hop's most innovative voices will ever return to the stage, or if this chapter will mark the end of a truly groundbreaking musical career.